12:43 here on the eastern shoreboard of the United States of America. We're hanging in tight, though. We're, East Coast represent, but this is all about the Open Division, Bobo. You got to do it for these teams.
There's 15 points on the line here with this last game. Reborne looking to clutch out yet another third-place finish. The Necrodancers looking to pick up their first big batch of points. They picked up 10 points from Cup number 1. But they will, again, both of these teams will pick up a minimum of 60 points here in number 2. If you're curious looking for our standings, you can always follow the action over on HeroesHype.com, where the standings will be updated. Murda, adjustments for game number 3.
I mean, it's tough. Like, I think it was really the abnormal laning structure we saw.
Yeah.
Out of Necrodancers, right?
And an effective one at that. Yeah, despite, again, giving up first turn, and they were almost always in control of XP.
Yeah, I think they drafted Leoric to deal with Stitches in a solo lane, but it just never worked out that way.
No, I mean, it's a give and take up there, really, but this team just likes playing Stitches. I didn't know they had 2 Stitches players. And listen, we were a little skeptical of the Stukov, but everything that Necrodancers put together in that match made a lot of sense because they had these 2 just massive meatbags at the front line. And with just Johanna and Leoric, it was very tough for the backline pressure to come through. We saw that every time Winterheart extended himself on the Genji, he was met with just a chain of CC, and especially the Horrifies coming out as well.
So I take it back what I said pregame about Stukov. I think by the end of it, my eyes have been opened, and I see what they're trying to do.
And a different build. A different build, too.
It was the Gorge, drop them off in a silence pool, hit the Warlord's challenge on top, and Genji just can't get away. There's nothing they can do.
No, and again, we called out Domovarian for his damage as well as for his patience. Again, in most fights, the Horrify was the last skill, the last heroic to be used. And it was the one that really clutched out a number of kills. So game number 3, we have a lobby ready, and we are headed to Volskaya Foundry. This is rapidly becoming the most popular map in competitive play, Murda. It's, again, something we talked about earlier today, buddy.
Absolutely. I believe it was 17 HGC selections through 2 weeks.
Yes, for NA and EU. It has been the top map at the professional level for NA and EU. I believe it's something like, yes, you were right in saying 17 map selections, but it's also 5 ahead of the next slate of maps. So listen, teams have been going to Volskaya. They absolutely love it. I think that Volskaya allows for teams to move into a different set of heroes. I think it actually opens up the support pool a little bit. Sure. You see Alex Strauss is very strong on this map as well. It's also the kind of map where you can play the Abathur as well, and it can surprise some teams. And I think it also does lend itself to the meta that we're seeing right now with a lot of good, strong, sustained damage and just beefy frontliners that are just not going to die.
So I do want to talk a bit about the other matchup. Wrong Orc and Freebirds are also headed to game number 3, Bobo.
Right on. Right on. I do expect, and I believe this is the second time we've seen Wrong Orc and Freebirds going at it in the finals. And Wrong Orc won in Cup number 1. We'll have to keep an eye out and see if Freebirds maybe can turn it here in Cup number 2.
But we do thank you viewers for hanging out here. This 3rd place match, twitch.tv/HeroesHype. You guys are the best. You know those other guys hanging at Blizz Heroes. They got Jake and Kyle, but you guys are hanging with Bobo and Murda. Buy your stock now is all I'm saying. Buy the stock now.
Buy the stock. It's true.
Later.
We do a couple of things together. I got sucked into playing a team with this guy. Actually, it was the first time we met. Listen, I have to be quite honest. I played Season 4 in NGS with Murda and the crew. And listen, man, I'm really happy that you picked me up and took me under the Regen umbrella. And we look forward to working forward in the future. But for now, game number 3. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the Open Div Cup 2. This is the 3-4 matchup between Reborne and Necrodancers. The team split their first 2 games. That was quick.
Quick, man.
Reborne has shown this multiple times.
Yeah, but they don't even want to let us catch our breath. We're still announcing the map. Hammer's already out of it. Okay. No hammer tonight. We didn't see her in any of these 3 games.
Yeah. And a good wise band, and actually it does put a little bit of pressure here on Reborn. We were going to say that these teams have traded off-lane bans. It was Yrel and Blaze for both of the first 2 games, but now actually a bit of a change-up. Yrel and Blaze are both available.
We're gonna see Yrel, 100%.
Yeah. Well, is there any way we don't? It's
No.
such a great. It's such a. I'm trying to make an argument. It's such a great map for her. You just like seeing her just swinging hammers, refusing to die, and just being a nuisance all over Volskaya. The Get Rush ban as well, and maybe an attempt by Reborn there to break up the double tank combo that we saw.
Ooh, so early Malfurion, which is going to give option now. Yrel, Blaze. They've prioritized Genji this evening.
Yep. You smell a Tracer coming?
I don't
Hammers
smell
banned?
a Tracer.
Okay.
I don't. I think they'll stick with Genji. I think they would.
Well, I mean, this would be new for Necrodancers. I was thinking for the Tracer there on the Necrodancer side. For Reborn, even though Tracer is up and available, the offlaners are out there, and they again, if they have a specific support that they feel Necrodancers might have scouted out, they may want to move into that. But I'm looking over on Necrodancer's side, right? They started off with a hammer ban and picked up the Malfurion. So you've got the A #1 support for Tracer and the A #1 ban against Tracer.
I agree. If you're talking about for Necrodancers, 100% we could see a Tracer. But okay. All right, we do see Yrel. Okay, I'm just wondering to myself, like, if they let Yrel go past this, like, how does it change the draft? Because, like, do you really want to leave it to be another ban? Because you're not gonna. Okay, so Yrel's in the game. That's really all that matters. She's picked, she's set up, and let's not worry about any other scenario. It's going to be played by Reborn. The first time we're going to see her tonight in this 3rd place match.
Yeah, and this is the off season for us. So this is actually the first time I've had an opportunity to cast for a Yrel player. And we've been keeping an eye certainly on HGC and the Open Cup as well. She's been an ever-present offlaner for a number of teams. Shout outs to 2 of my favorite offlaners. I've been watching Wubby and Athro play Yrel, and it's gross.
Oh, dude.
Absolutely
Wubby. Okay, so anytime Wubby gets a new hero, it's just like. Does he stream, by the way? Like, I need to start tuning in.
He does, but very quietly.
Okay.
Go figure.
Like,
it's Wubby.
He doesn't talk. Jaina, Blaze, 2 heroes you could expect to see, and we will.
And the Blaze Yrel matchup is really interesting. The Blaze pickup is actually about trying to match the team fight, and certainly about having bunker. Because listen, we've played this matchup. Blaze doesn't do anything to Yrel. She just heals through all of the damage. You can take adrenaline stim pack at level 1. It's not going to make a difference. These 2 just wind up trading blows, and nobody really loses any health in the long run. But we do have the Malf and Jaina paired together. So the flex spot is still open for Necrodancers, but 20 seconds left on the ban here for Reborn. Where do you want to see them go with this?
Okay, so probably, like you mentioned, banning out a Tracer is not a bad idea. Well, I'm really worried though for Reborn, because they're gonna have to now dig deep into the hero pool. The healer pool. There is a Tracer ban.
Right.
Kane's 100% the ban here. If it's me, I'm making sure Kane is not the selection. I think we agree on that.
But that would back you into it. That would. I don't want to say back you into. Okay, so I was going to say, is it Kane or Alex? I actually think you'd be comfortable with either Kane or Alex on this map. It's another one of Alex's better maps. The Tracer ban, though, does it open up Huff Money to get back on the stitches with Johanna and Garrosh already gone? It's an okay Murda map. I don't think ETC is going to like going up against a Johanna and a Yrel. 40
I see your
seconds
point.
here for Reborn.
I think they take the support here. I think they just go ahead and grab the Kane, just so they don't show too much.
So both Genji and Tracer have been removed. See, they've been playing Alex all cup. Again, you could just sort of trade off. It's just personal preference. But the one thing that Alex does so exceptionally well here on Volskaya is just the cooldown management. Because it's Volskaya and there are a lack of mercenary camps, and it's very hard to apply any sort of crazy lane pressure, you're just not pressured into pressing either your R or potentially going to Dragon Queen too early. So Alex can really just sort of sit back, save up her cooldowns, and we'll be able to unleash them on the protector point. First Hanzo
And-
of the night.
The Hanzo's smart,
There he
right?
is.
Okay. Phoenix Stitches. I want to talk a bit about the Hanzo pick, though, because I think it is pretty smart. He's going to have plenty of opportunity to sit back and fire off some scatter arrows. And,
Yep.
and
Oh,
we both got a... Medivh.
another, get a nice little spicy pepper there in game number 3. Winter Heart on the Medivh.
So it's an answer to a Gorge, right? Because you can just throw a portal, get someone out of there.
You could potentially just use Poly on Stitches as well. But this is...
And of course,
this is
the
neat.
shielding for the burst up against the Jaina. Maybe even some protection up against Purification Salvo. I like Medivh. I like Medivh a lot.
I don't know how you kill anybody on the side of Reborn unless you can get that sort of Gorge combo and get on the other side of a wall, and even then you might have to deal with a portal. Because, you know, again, you have heals on Yrel, big heals on Alex, and Medivh just being Medivh and cheating all over the map.
A small map too. There's some really interesting points where he can invade. Keep an eye on the heal camp. I think if they can come from a unique angle, jump right on top, maybe they go the polybomb and they can steal away a support camp item. That
there is you know, the reason that we will sometimes see polybomb as opposed to leyline seal is because there isn't a wombo set up for leyline. I mean, listen, you don't have the Diablo, the Jaina. You don't even have a lot of really big burst damage on the side of Reborn right now. So again, I really could see Poly coming into play here, but let's get going. Game number 3. We've got Reborn. We've got Necrodancers. These teams fighting for 3rd place here in the Open Division Cup number 2.
So, Stitches, once again.
Yeah.
Is Stitches going to be the answer? Are they going to be able to get the hooks they got in... I mean, we see it switching hands. It's tough money.
Yes. It'll be Quantum on the Malfurion. There'll be physicals on that Phoenix, as Ariel will be playing the Blaze, and Domavarian, our MVP from game number 2, will be jumping over onto Jaina.
Oh, there's an early hook, early route, Yrel, but Medivh, look at
Medivh.
That's all Medivh has to do all game. Just sit and wait for the hook. Maybe you have to throw out a portal to get someone escaped out, right? But, I mean, the burst, you're just not going to be able to do it. What a smart pick. I'm really in love with the Medivh pick here.
It makes a lot of sense. And we talked about the defensive use of Into the Fray in game number 2. We'll talk a lot about the defensive use of Force of Will here in game number 3, as now the burst protection is on the side of Reborn. Ooh, Huff Money. Just missing Alex.
So, bottom lane matchup, this is one we are seeing so much more frequently. The Yrel up against the Blaze. It's really just a wet noodle fight, man. It's like, how much action are you going to get there? I think eventually it ends up being Yrel winning the match.
Yeah, and we can see that here with the Azariel at 60% health, now down to 50.
Right. Yeah, and that's it's 100% thanks to the Murad's inside at level 1. Just she never loses health, and Blaze can't do nearly enough damage to make her worry at all. So I think the Blaze just has to use his taps more frequently, has to back up more, heal in his fire. But it's not going to be a very exciting matchup. But these heroes are going to bring a ton to the team fight department, especially in terms of defense. Both of them providing a lot of utility in the defensive department for their teams.
And you can tell how Necrodancers is trying to plot out this team fight with the Blaze pickup at level 1. If you wanted a little bit more wave clear, if you wanted to have any chance of putting some damage on it, you would go into Adrenaline Stimpack. But we see Neural here. And Neural Stimpack for me is all about the opportunity to get Jet Propulsion, pop Neural, and then see if you can get another Jet P to maybe wind up securing a kill with that just big CC on Averted. Skates away from Huff Money there. Pretty standard builds, although Murda, we're seeing a little bit of a departure here from Hanzo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like,
it's the old
Praxis.
It's an old school build.
Redemption.
Yeah, from a couple of listen, it's a build from a couple of months ago. It still has merit, but we have been seeing Hanzo's move away from W build.
Interesting point. But I think it makes sense. Does it lend itself to Hanzo being inside of a protector? Is that more what they're thinking?
I just think it's about putting pressure on the Stitches as best as you can. And I mean, maybe Unaverted is, I don't want to say afraid, but maybe he was thinking that he's not going to be able to find that many stacks in the early game, just because if you're trying to stack simple geometry, you're going to put yourself in Huff Money sights.
Right.
Top camp picked up by both teams. Necrodancers picked theirs up first. Alex was late capping. There's the hook. It comes out on D-Rec, who immediately uses Iron Skin. Physical's trying to give chase with a Plasma Cutter. But the
And look at that.
will heal back up.
Look at that Winterheart portal immediately dropped on top just in case Johanna needed it there. So smart, so quick. And again, I'm just going to keep mentioning it all game. The Medivh pick is so brilliant. And another hook. Does he have the portal this time? It is
I don't
down.
think so.
And look, there's the escape. That's what I'm talking about.
But the follow-up is there. Quantum actually is going deep. The counter kill came through on Blaze, but Johanna and Medivh go down. Valimar actually winds up popping Dragon Queen just to try to keep his team alive. And there goes Unaverted.
Oh, Huff Money.
You can't give him stitches. You can't.
You were right. Huff Money Stitches is really good.
It's dirty.
It's dirty. You're right. And I think he's, what, is that 4 for 4 now on hooks?
Oh, I think he missed.
Oh,
I think he missed one by like a half unit of range.
Okay.
But I mean, Huff Money, this grandfather Stitches is just dropping gifts left and right, and the follow-up has been there every time. Shout out to Quantum on the Malfurion, just simply holding his roots, waiting for the opportunity to come through. Winterheart under huge pressure. That is a problem.
Stacks reset twice now on Medivh. 4 kills in this game for Necrodancers. Triglot Protector moving up top. They want to get this wall. They want to get that well, as Capture Point B will be next, of course.
Yep.
And yeah, here comes Malfurion and Jaina to help the cause. And it looks like this well is going to fall.
This is the Triglov Protector shuffle. You pick up the first objective. You are immediately looking for mid wall and then top wall plus top fountain. D-Rec there has a portal to go ahead and get out. Wasn't sure if that was an aggressive or defensive portal.
Oh,
He's
no
gonna
Iron
need another
Skin this
one.
time. Oh, baby.
That's why you can't listen. Oh man, Huff Money is on point. Saving that hook, and for Stitches players, the way that you're going to get more efficacy out of Stitches and your hooks is you're going to use them when everybody thinks that the fight is over. You can catch so many heroes on retreat if you're smart about using your cooldowns, and that's what I've seen Huff Money do repeatedly throughout this cup. He's been just absolutely on point in terms of just waiting for cooldowns to go. The portal was gone, Force of Will was gone, Iron Skin and Condemn were gone. And listen, if all those cooldowns are out, you just got to hit the Joe, and she's gone. Azariel with a great jet propulsion in there. Winds up hitting 2 members, D-Rec and Showtime trying to find a way back out of there. The portal is there, and Johanna is out. So we're approaching level 10. Just checking in real quick on our builds. We see everything is pretty standard. Jaina moving into the Frostbolt build at 4 and 7. We'll see Grill and Kill for Blaze, which is a talent that I'm going to dip for a little while. The level 10's picked up. It's going to be a Welly game. There's another hook and a near miss on Winterheart. Bunker, Gorge, Purification, Salvo. Malfurion, though, maybe potentially holding his heroic here.
I wonder what he's waiting to see come out. I don't know how much value you get out of Twilight Dream here. And yeah, there is a Tranquility. I just don't think Twilight Dream really makes too much sense. Like, there's not much you're trying to shut down on the dive.
No, and Tranquility is going to be great through the limited amount of damage that Reborn has drafted. So, listen, you're banking on Medivh resets, but those are going to be very, very hard to come by with the potential for Stitches to just gorge you if you're trying to get a couple of Q-stack resets. But it's really just Hanzo. Urel's damage is okay. You really need to get into Holy Wrath at 16 before she really starts to pick up a good measure of steam. I like the Tranquility pick here. It's going to help provide sustain, particularly through, however, Valimar wants to use his cooldowns on the Alex Raza.
So we end up seeing Leyline Seal.
We do, okay.
Ardent Defender are the 2.
Ardent Defender looks like the stronger talent, despite the massive cooldown for Urel.
I agree, and again, like they have to deal with Jaina burst. So anytime you're stuck as Urel, maybe you're the one who gets scorched. You just pop your Ardent Defender, you get out.
Yep.
And especially when you have a portal, like it's basically a get out of jail free card. Looking to find Valimar though is Huff Money, barely misses. Yeah, that one, like we saw in game number 2, was a little wind on the tush there.
Necrodancers have used the kill pressure and the early advantage to pick up a number of camps. They are currently in possession of a biotic emitter. And Quantum holding that one. And they believe they also do have the fortification camp. Jaina holding that, or is Blade? Domavarian is holding the fortification camp on Jaina, in fact. Johanna with a big contemn here. Hits 2. There's a follow-up immediately with the Dragon's Arrow, but at the same time, the fight is being turned. Leyline Seal comes out as well to try to prevent the Purification Salvo from killing members of Reborn, but it comes through at the end of the Leyline Seal. A little bit of chase here. Valimar pops the Dragon Queen, but not much happening.
Yeah, hook up in 3. Look for something here. Again, they're going to try to reset this fight. They don't have anything except the Gorge. The Gorge is the play. If you can find someone, pull him behind the wall. Look where Huff Money's standing. Looking to find anyone.
He'll take any target.
Any target right now.
That fight was really turned. A shout out to Quantum. The Nature's Cure on the Dragon Arrow. There's the grab.
Oh, Iron Skin perfectly timed
through. But now that cooldown is gone. Quantum wound up cleansing that Dragon's Arrow, which hit 2 members off of the Johanna cooldown, and it allowed Domavarian and Physical to get on out of there. There's a Jet Propulsion as Azerial finds 2 members. They are the frontline members. Cleansing Flame comes through. D-Rec has been gorged. Alex Straza is trying to follow. We'll see where D-Rec pops out. Has the Iron Skin cooldown, but the portal's in an odd position where he cannot get out as Ariel winds up confirming the kill with the Jet Propulsion. Strong follow-up from Domavarian. Medivh is in a world of hurt here. Winterheart goes down. That is now the 3rd death for both Medivh and Johanna. 7 kills for Necrodancers. They are seizing control of this game. They have the 13 advantage. They're about to pick up a Triggerlock Protector, another Biotic Emitter. Murda, it certainly looks like they're going to get a lot of value out of this.
Shout out to Huff Money on that play. He lands the Gorge, and he's sitting in between 2 ends of a portal, right? Someone needs to clip that. Go back and watch it, because Huff Money says, oh, I'm not bringing you to the far end of this portal where you're just going to escape. I'm going to drop you right in the middle. And then it was an awkward click from D-Rec to send himself backwards into enemy territory and just couldn't get out. It was a 100 IQ play by Huff Money, finding the kill on that Johanna, and it's going to find them potentially a Triglav, unless if Johanna has anything to say about another Gorge.
Should have Iron Skin.
Portal's down.
There's Leyline. Leyline actually hits 2 members, so D-Rec will get out with the Iron Skin. They actually have the opportunity to reset on their point here. They don't quite have 13. There's a big Jet Propulsion. Winterheart is in another world of pain as Ariel in the back line. D-Rec on the front here does not have Iron Skin. He could be going down momentarily. Winterheart trying to use the portal to get out. Johanna goes down for the 4th time. Jet Propulsion misses, as does the hook, but the Triglav Protector will be picked up momentarily. Necrodancers, boy, they are just going to be tripping the light fantastic down top lane here. They're going to be looking to pick up a minimum of a fort. Looks like they should be able to pick up top and mid quite easily if that is what they choose.
And that should be more than enough for them to hit level 16. This should put them about 15 and a half, I'd say. They already have Blaze and Jaina splitting out. Yeah, so it's about 15 and a half right now. They're going to find this mid fort as well. Blaze prepping the lane up against Yarel in the bottom side. And here comes the Triglav going to march its way down there.
2nd fort claimed. Looks like Necrodancers may be thinking about trying to pick up a well here. They actually wind up finding the root onto Medivh. Winterheart goes down. He didn't have enough time to pick out. He didn't have enough time to grab the portal.
That was dirty. Yo, Bobo, that was dirty. Finding him, rooting him in. Yeah. Dude, so Winterheart, he's having a tough game. He really is. He's been reset how many times now? I think we're looking at 4 deaths on Medivh, which that's just trouble. And in official, you hate to see it moment, Bobo.
There's so much momentum on the side of Necrodancers. When they pick up an advantage, they just get more confident. They combo their abilities very well. Both teams in every single team fight that we've seen over both of these games have had to really layer their heroic cooldowns, right? There hasn't been any moment where everybody just gets to press the R button at the same time and the team fight is over. There's a lot of give and take here. But it does seem to be wearing down Reborn because they've just been under constant pressure, especially from the Stitches and the excellent roots on the side of Quantum as well. 16 picked up here.
How hard is it to play against Stitches, right? You can't really draft against them, right? You're not going to ban out Stitches. So then you have to like make these comps.
You're going to start thinking about it.
Yeah, they're thinking about it. Like maybe they overthought the draft, bringing in Medivh. I mean, I love the pick, and I think it's the right pick. But did it get them off of their game a bit, Bobo? Right?
Well, I really okay. Well, okay, so because of the way that Stitches functions, right? He himself does not have mobility. He can be worn down. He relies on, in the early game, not just the hooks, but defensively having walls behind him. And Reborn was just not able to provide any sort of pressure in any of these lanes. And when you lose the first objective and the map starts to open up, for Necrodancers, they don't have to cross the middle point of this map unless they choose to. And on the split side, there's just, right now, there's no retreat for Reborn. They're having a tough time getting away. Every time the hook comes out and it connects, it is immediately absorbing Iron Skin, Force of Will, as well as the portal. So when the re-engage comes through, oftentimes they just don't have the defensive tools to resist the second and third attempts to re-engage here. And Necrodancers has now built a 3-level lead. They're up 9-1 in terms of kills.
Ooh, Iron Skin early that time. Gonna
see that, but that is exactly what Reborn needed earlier in this match. And then maybe they could have the opportunity to sort of reset the fight and then fight on their own terms. I mean, listen, they've just been under so much pressure. And again, this was a theme of the semifinal for Reborn, not being able to provide backline pressure. Has Domavarian, has Physicals been under pressure at all at any point in this game? Don't think so. Top camp picked up here from Necrodancers. They're going to be a level away from 20. They're under no rush. Murda, I mean, what's the formula here for Reborn to try to crawl their way back into this game?
I mean, it's just so bizarre because obviously you're relying so heavily on Hanzo, and he's a backline ranged hero. He's not trying to get past Stitches. And look again, and this time it's a Gorge, and Johanna is gonna be behind a wall.
Misses.
Okay, so didn't make it behind because we're about the jet propulsion huge.
Valimar on the backside is gone. There's the absorb. We actually do get an opportunity to see Yarel absorb a little bit of damage before she is gone. Yeah, Divine Seed not going to save you from there. But no, to get back to the point that you had before this, there's another big stun. Hanzo just not providing enough damage. It's not putting pressure on the front line. And Azerial with these jet propulsions has just been on point.
Yeah, so
the Blaze...
Look how close they are to 20. Look how close. And this Triglav, I mean, this is 100% going to be a keep, right?
Yes. I mean, Top has a camp pushing against it as well. We can see Necrodancers here. They're just plotting how to finish this game. They are going to pick up every item that they can. Azerial and Physicals currently holding a fortification camp Quantum with another biotic emitter. I mean, the front wall is gone. I don't even know. I'm not.
The towel might be thrown in. I wouldn't be surprised to see GG's right now.
Well, I mean, is there anything that Reborn is going to be able to do to push this 4-man off of this point? There's another jet propulsion. There's a root coming out as well. Medivh will have to use both Force of Will and the portal just to get out.
I mean, so I started talking about it. They need to find a way to get Hanzo to get the damage on the backline, and there it is. The Dragon's Arrow could set it up. We'll see if they make this fight happen, but they are down that Storm Palantir yet again.
Wow.
And finding a kill on Alexstrasza is going to be Necromancers. They don't need to sit on the capture point right now. They can just push onto this keep, and they're going to find another kill onto Johanna, stagger it out a bit.
Look at Domo.
I mean,
just sharking with that, Jaina.
For as flawless as we said Reborn played in game number 1, this is the complete opposite here in game number 3, where it is all Necromancers. 15-1 on the kill count.
Oh, the Necrodancers are looking to get that top 3 shuffle going. You know, again, there's a situation where they actually managed to get a little piece of the puzzle that they wanted. They hit the Dragon's Arrow on Physicals, but the fight just gets turned around immediately. Azerial is right there with a gigantic jet propulsion. Domavarian was able to flank around the backside, and while all of the members of Reborn were trying to find a kill onto Phoenix, the Alex was just getting laid waste by Jaina. And here is the march towards the core. With Johanna down for 8 seconds with level 20 picked up. This is only a 17-minute Triglav Protector, so he's not quite the bully. But Murda, it's going to take a miracle defense for Reborn to find their way out of this one.
Triglav is healthy. Medivh getting rooted,
Unaverted.
but it's unaverted. And Hanzo falling low, 30 health, finally gets inside that abundance and gets a little bit of a heal. But look at the backside. Now you have Urel trying to make a desperate play, trying to work on Jaina, but there's just no follow-up damage. Hanzo was so low, unaverted had to back up, couldn't get there. And now the Triglav working down the shields on the core. Necrodancers looking to pick up the set. 2-1. They're gonna find Urel. Dude, Bobo, I think that's all she wrote. 50%. Find another kill onto Medivh, and GG's in chat. Your third place team in this here Open Cup number 2 is going to be Necrodancers.
The Dancers. Talked about it in the pregame. I wanted to see it. I got to see it. 2 games with stitches, even though one was played by Azariel. Huff Money picked it up in game number 3. You know, the triple ban phase is coming soon, and I'm not sure that that anybody is going to let Necrodancers just pick the stitches up again, especially given the way that they turned the second half of this set around. Because Reborn played game 1 almost perfectly. I don't think they lost a fort until Necrodancers actually wound up using the asymmetrical push, which actually did wind up costing them the game. But man, their bulky front lines, Stitch's Garrosh, and then Stitch's Blaze just enabled their backline to just wail away. And D-Rec, who's a great tank player, couldn't get anything going in games 2 and 3.
Yeah, I mean, so we saw 2 deaths from Necrodancers in game number 2.
Yeah.
Here in game number 3, only 1 death.
Wow.
So just a tremendous amount of defense. Huge props again to this front line providing the protection on the back line. But I do not want to discount. We had 2 fantastic competitors. These 2 teams, what a wonderful cup for them, both picking up 60 and 75 points. So looking forward to seeing them more in cups number 3, 4, 5, all the way through to the Crucible potentially. These are quality teams that you can see making a run late into these open playoffs. Oh,
absolutely. We have to give a shout out to Reborn and just in the org as a whole. I gave a shout out to Coach Crosby there. I mean, listen, Reborn has done a great job through these first couple of cups. It's an achievement in and of itself just to make 2 semifinals, especially against the teams that they've had to go up against. I mean, they've run into Freebirds a few times, but they have managed to just lay waste through teams that they were certainly considered to be the underdog. But the story here in the 3-4 set is certainly Necrodancers. This is a team that didn't make it too far in cup number 1, but here in cup number 2, they do wind up picking up those 75 precious points. Looking forward to see what they can do again. Cup number 3 will be coming at you 1 week's time. Let's fire up on Monday the 16th. And
sounds right to me.
Absolutely. Catch all the action here on the HeroesHype family. Murda, I mean, we got to see the double stitches.
Yeah.
I told you to keep an eye out for it. I mean, that hero more than anything seemed to be the MVP for this set.
Absolutely. And I think maybe Glaurung wants to take a couple notes in his book. That was some great play tonight.
Absolutely. We got to see the off lane as well, which is kind of neat to see on the stitches. But listen, we want to thank everybody here for watching. And listen, if you are fans of HeroesHype as we are, listen, we're not just here doing the work for the crew, but HeroesHype, again, recently started up the Patreon campaign. Listen, we encourage you guys to go ahead and check it out. You can support them at patreon.com/HeroesHype. Again, there's a whole number of tiers going on. Yeah, you can chip in, certainly on the patron tier on the low end, and it scales all the way up through friend and rare, ending up on the legendary tier, which, listen, it actually looks really cool.
Yeah.
Anytime you use swag bag, you've got my attention. And if you use swag bag twice, you're perking my ears up a little bit there.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Patreon.com/HeroesHype.
Yep.
Make sure if you are not already following this Twitch channel here, twitch.tv/HeroesHype, slap the follow button. If you got a Twitch Prime, slap a sub. I know everyone around here, the administration staff, they do such a marvelous job. So much going on. You got the European Open Cups that are going to be starting soon. And of course, when Open's not going on, you have the Amateur Series. Just HeroesHype is such a wonderful organization, and I'm proud to be a part of it. I've had a pleasure getting to cast with you as always, Professor Bobo.
Love you, baby.
Why don't you let these guys know where they can find you too?
Okay, so listen, if you want to follow Murda and I, we're both NGS casters. We also both do the NGS podcast Nexus Now, which we started up. You can find out all the details over on nexusgamingseries.com. But season 5 for NGS will be coming through soon. We're both going to be casting. You can find me at twitch.tv/prof_Bobo. And on Twitter, I am, I'm trying to remember it because I change it all the time. Prof Bobo Hots.
That's
Murda?
a good one.
For
you
yourself?
can remember that one now. So you guys know me again. We're both doing the NGS stuff. Don't need to go over that again. But twitch.tv/MurdaRG. Throw me a follow. I will love you long time. And if you want to tweet at me at MurdaRG on Twitter, I will answer any questions and be your friend forever. Bobo, such a pleasure, dude. As always. As always.
Love to be here. And again, it was our pleasure to bring you guys the 3-4 matchup. So once again, Necrodancers coming out on top over Reborne here in Open Div Cup number 2. A shout out to, again, production for being behind the scenes and guiding us through our first experience with HeroesHype. And we certainly look forward to seeing you guys yet again.